Okay, I did my other video was the bottom side. This is the top side of this frame. This is a 4-cylinder frame. And the way you can tell is the distance between the shock towers. This is a YJ frame, 87 to 95. The distance between the shock tower and the motor mounts. And you see that big gap there? That indicates it's a 4-cylinder just because they basically chopped the block on 4 cylinders. They've cut off the 2 cylinders, literally. And if you look at this one real quick, you can see how close it is. So this is this frame though. This is a 4-cylinder frame. Obviously I have a 6-cylinder sitting here as well, and whatnot. So these are solid frames. There's no rust on them and whatnot. I had these listed as basically just pulled frames. People were still asking me to prep them somewhat. So and prep them, I mean we take the pressure washer to them, peel off all the dirt, and then we put a rust inhibitor coating on them. So they're not sandblasted by no means, but and basically the difference between a sandblasted frame and like this frame, those are sandblasted over there, and we sell those as well. They're a little bit more for the labor we have to put into them and parts and wise, but anyway, the difference is the finish is going to be a little rougher on one of these frames versus those being sandblasted. They're smooth as, I mean, they look brand new, whereas this one and these other ones I have sitting here are going to have a little bit rougher finish because obviously they're still used frames, and so over time they have some scaling on them, which is basically the top level of the metal has just kind of come up, so they're kind of hard to see, but again, these are all solid frames. There's no cancer in them, there's no cracks in them, and whatnot. So, and that coating we put on them is comes out real nice, makes them look real solid. So I like to do my videos on these guys because show you as if you were here in person. So, and I do a pretty good job coating them. There's probably a couple areas that I miss on them. You might see, like I can kind of see here, there's you can see kind of show through, but for the most part, so a lot of scaling, you can see it kind of in these areas. Is more of the rougher areas, again all solid, but really to get that nice and smooth you'll have to get a media blaster, some sort of sand blaster, and that will get that. And I'll show you the difference. If you look at these are my sandblasted frames. You can just see how smooth these are. So all that scaling is taken off. Still a little bit of roughness in the smaller the crevices. They're a little harder to get, but these came out real nice. So but anyway, so this is this frame again. I don't want anybody to get confused on these other frames I'm showing you, and whatnot. So these are the areas that are very susceptible to cracking and rust, and you can see they're all solid. The sides of these things are real nice and smooth, and the scaling usually happens where you can see it here too, and obviously it's not here, and a lot of people wonder why that happens. And back there, like I showed you, it's where metal basically comes together and allows water to get, or moisture to get caught between, and it's usually where bushings are. Rubber bushings are notorious for causing metal to lift the top surface of it. That's what people, when they call surface rust, if you don't know, that's what that is. So, and you'll see it a lot in this area. This is again where that rubber bushing goes for your radiator mount, and this usually is a lot more eroded. My other frame over there has got a good place like that on it, but other than that, these are super clean, and somebody would be very happy with any of these. Again, this is a 4-cylinder, 1987 and 1995 is what this will bolt on for, and whatnot. And our price on these things, there's usually always a sale going, and when they're on sale, they're $1,200 plus shipping. And shipping, depending on what we have going out, can be a couple $100. And if you need it quicker than that, it can cost you a little bit more. We can have them crated and whatnot. But normally, if you're a little patient on them for me, I can get these out to you for about $300. Sometimes in rural areas or way out there, you might pay a little bit more, but not too bad. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please give me a call. My name is Jeremy, 720-987-8772. Thanks.